Rev it up and welcome to Cars Yeah, show number 1390. This week, I'm celebrating the inaugural Las Vegas Concours d'Elegance that takes place October 25th, 26th, 27th, and 28th at the Dragon Ridge Country Club in Petersen, Nevada, just south of Las Vegas. I'm proud to say the Cars Yeah is a sponsor of this prestigious event. If you want to learn more, go to LasVegasConcours.com, and today we talk to the founder.
People are coming at us now and they want to get involved. They want to help out.
This is Cars Yeah, where you'll enjoy interviews with inspiring automotive enthusiasts. Mark Green is here to provide you with a fuel injection of automotive inspiration. So get in, sit down, buckle up, and get ready for a wild ride here on Cars Yeah.
What's the worst thing for your car's interior? No, it's not that milkshake the kids spilled in the back seat. It's the sun. Harmful UV rays cook your automobile's interior hour after hour when it's parked outside, even on a cloudy day. What's the solution? Covercraft sunscreens. They protect your dash, seats, and interior finishes from those damaging UV rays while keeping the interior temperature tolerable, even on the hottest summer days. No more painfully sizzling seats and steering wheels for you. They unfold quickly and easily install, stay where you put them, and are custom patterned for an exact fit. The foam core acts as a cooling insulator, and you can get yours in different colors and finishes. And they even fold up easily and store under your seat or on the floor. I've used Covercraft sunscreens for years, and they are a fast and easy solution that protect my beloved cars when they're not in the garage. Learn more and order yours at Covercraft.com. Want to protect your entire vehicle? Get a car cover from Covercraft. They have those too. That's Covercraft.com. And tell them Mark sent you. Mark Green here. I'm a car care fanatic. You know that. And I've discovered Migliori, luxury car care products. Migliori Strata Coating is a ceramic treatment that you can easily apply by yourself. It provides your special vehicle with a high gloss finish and lasts for over a year. Migliori Strata Coating features an extreme hydrophobic finish, so water sheets right away, reducing water spotting, and it makes your car washing a breeze. With over 100 positive reviews on Amazon, this is a time-tested product that's made here in the USA. With fall and winter on the way, protect your vehicle's finish with Migliori. You'll find all their premium car care products at MiglioriWax.com. Plus, you'll get 10% off at checkout by using the code CARSYEAH. 10% off. What a deal. That's MiglioriWax.com. Hello, automotive enthusiasts. I'm revved up and so excited to introduce today's very special returning guest here on Cars Yeah, calling in from Las Vegas, Nevada, Stuart Sobek. Stuart, are you buckled up and ready for a fun ride?
I'm ready to roll.
All right. Stuart Sobek is the founder and chairman of the Las Vegas Concours d'Elegance. This inaugural event will debut on October 25th through the 28th at the exclusive Dragon Ridge Country Club just south of Las Vegas. Stuart has been in the car collector world for more than 31 years, fueled by his first visit to Pebble Beach back in 1987, and he's been collecting and showing cars ever since. His passion began and still remains with the exotic car world, being a longtime member of many car clubs, including Lamborghini and Maserati Clubs, enabling him to learn and increase his knowledge and passion for these unique and beautiful automobiles. As a collector, he has personally owned and logged many miles behind the wheel of some of the most fantastic rides in the world, both on the street and the track. Stuart is a member of the CCCA and Checkered flag lifetime member at the Petersen Museum in Los Angeles, California. And today, he returns to Cars Yeah after a visit last February to kind of give us an update on this new inaugural event. And I made a comment to Stuart. We're on Skype here today. I can't believe how calm and easygoing he looks this morning, considering he's got an inaugural Concours coming up. So Stuart, welcome back to Cars Yeah. We're going to share with the listeners some news about the event as it's coming up here very quickly, and some of the exciting automobiles that your team will bring to the lawn here. But first, I want to ask you a question. Now that you've gotten into it, I mean, you've really been into this. What on earth made you decide to take on such a monumental task as a new Concours at this level?
Well, as you know, launching a new Concours is quite an endeavor, and it's definitely not for the timid. Even kind of knowing what I knew going into this, there are just so many more moving parts than I had anticipated. There's a lot of stuff. You just have to roll with it. And we've got a great team. Everybody's doing their job. Everybody's working on it. But what got me really going on this was the idea of doing something new and fresh for my sport. It's a hobby that I love. It's a hobby that I've been doing for a long time, 32 years. And I'm a collector myself. I've had all these cars. I've had all these things. I've gone to all these shows. And I just wanted to do something that's different, that's fun, that's beautiful, that's respectful of these cars, but also something that we haven't seen before, something that you haven't seen, and something that's really fresh and different. And that's what really got me started.
Well, I'm really proud to be supporting this event and helping you along here in my little way here at Cars Yeah. All week long, we're going to have some special guests involved with the event. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking with DR. Then I've got Ed Gilbertson coming back on. I mean, a heavy hitter in the judging world. You've got some incredible people. I would imagine putting on an event like this really is about the team. I mean, you've got incredible people that are working so hard. You cannot do an event like this by yourself. There's no way possible. This team that you compiled, let me ask you before I get into what people can expect to experience is, what does a guy like you have to do to get on the phone and call a whole bunch of people and say, hey, let's do another Concours and I want you to help me?
Well, that's the $64 phone call.
Yeah.
Can you help me, and can you do it and dedicate all of their time and effort for free? That's the big one. But, people are really enthusiastic about it. They really love the idea. And I think they can see where this could go and what the potential of this show is. So people are coming at us now and they want to get involved. They want to help out. It's just really exciting. But that's a tough call to make, to get someone to give up that much of their life for something like this. It really is tough.
Absolutely. I'll tell you one thing, Stuart. I've talked to a lot of people since I had you on the show last February, and every single person says the same thing. Stuart is great. So I will say that despite, the last 9 months here getting prepped for this, it seems like you've been able to keep everybody happy in some magical way and keep them excited. Maybe it's the lure of Las Vegas, I mean, I've thought about this since you were on the show in February. A show in Las Vegas, at first when I heard that, I went, oh, another Concours. Do we really need that? And then I went, wait a minute, Las Vegas. I mean, there's everything you could want there for all different kinds of people. I might even get my wife to come to a Concours by luring her to Las Vegas, because she's not really into cars, but there's plenty of other things to do. So let's start with an overview of this event. Now, this isn't just a one-day event. You didn't just say, let's do a Concours. You said, let's do a happening. 4 days of happening. So kind of walk us through where it starts, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4.
So first of all, this is not going to look or feel like a first-year Concours. This is going to look and feel like we've been doing this for a long time. And that's the impression I want to give to people. I tell people, this is Las Vegas. We don't have 5 or 6 chances to do this right. There's a level of expectation right now that it's coming out of the chute, that it's going to be a high-end show right from the start. So that's the way we've designed it from the very beginning. So in order to do that, we've added all these elements. We've put all these things that I think people want to see. The first evening is our opening night gala, and it's from 7 to 10:30. It benefits the TechForce Foundation, and it is a beautiful gala like you've never seen. It's not just a party where you go and eat and you visit with everybody. We've got an hour and a half of some special surprises. We've got special Las Vegas type entertainment. We've got food by Wolfgang Puck, and he'll be there serving you. We've got 3 hours of open bar, high-end premium open bar. Who does that? We've got entertainers and things going on. But then about an hour and a half in, we've got the time where you can visit with your friends. We know people are going to want to see their friends and they're going to want to visit. But an hour and a half in, we start the Helen Award ceremony. And it's a 50-minute Hollywood-type award ceremony with great visuals and some surprise entertainment. There's going to be some people in that. There's going to be some Las Vegas in that. And for 50 minutes, it's a very high-end show that you won't want to miss.
Wow.
It's going to be really cool.
And that launches things on opening night. And then the next day, we have the Concours, right, on Saturday?
Yeah, then Saturday from 9 to 4, we have the Concours d'Elegance at the beautiful and prestigious Dragon Ridge Country Club. I mean, it is gorgeous, and it's a place a lot of people. It's a private club. It's a gated community. A lot of people can't get in there or have never seen it. It is beautiful, and they have just finished their reseeding. I think they're just opening the golf course. They just opened the golf course October 2nd, and they're just getting ready to go. And it is as gorgeous as it could ever be. And they're going to let us park our cars all over that grass, all the brand new grass. It's a little crazy, but we did it on purpose. We want to have something really beautiful. It's up at the hills and it's got a little slope, and everywhere you look down on the Las Vegas Strip, which is a very unusual view. But the photographers that have been up there have said, wow, this is really fantastic. We're going to have some visuals like you've never seen. And we're going to curate and park the cars in areas so that they're seen in such a way so the photography is great, so the visuals are great. And it's going to be a really different kind of Concours than you've ever seen.
You know, it's a beautiful part of Las Vegas down there in Henderson, McDonald Highlands. That area. It's going to be fantastic. There's going to be over 200 cars there, and we're going to talk about the cars in a minute. But then Sunday, we move into something very unique again, and then we talk about the Tour d'Elegance and a drive on the Strip.
Right. My dream, when I first started dreaming about doing a Concours, my favorite element is always the tour. I love the driving part. I'm a driver myself. I want to drive these cars. I want to see them going. I want to, like in an old car going down the road, I want to follow it. I want to smell it. I roll down the windows to smell that old exhaust. I want to hear it. I want to see it. I want to see that visceral experience of a car, in a dynamic mode. So, my thought was to see these cars coming down the Strip. The visuals of these beautiful cars driving down the Strip was too much for me. So when I first started putting this together, that was the very first element I worked on, was getting the Strip to where we could drive it. So on Sunday morning from about 8 to 10, we've got a 2-hour window where we are going to have police escorts, and we're going to be driving. We call a procession. We're not racing on the Strip. So these cars are beautiful. But, like when you've got a car like the Phantom Corsair or Peter Mullen's Dubonnet Xenia, those cars are meant to parade. And, but I think people want to see those. I think they deserve to see those in motion. Like a lot of the cars that we have, people have said, wow, I'd love to see that car run. And so that's my dream, is to bring that to the Strip, where people can line the Strip, and you get that whole experience of driving your car down the Strip, where it's protected, it's safe. I think it's going to be unlike anything else that's ever been done.
Oh, I think so. My regular listeners will know. Earlier this year at the La Jolla Concours, a future upcoming guest of mine, Joel Karish, let me drive his 1923 Bentley, and I drove around San Diego, my hometown, in that car with Wayne Craig, another past guest here, and another fella. And it was just so cool. And then I got to ride again this year in the Tour d'Elegance at Pebble Beach in Stephen and Amy Plaster's 1913, I think it was a 12 or 13 Rolls Royce. And
nice.
That experience completely blew me away. And it made me think of this tour on the Vegas Strip, because you can have all these people. I had no idea so many people lined the path for the Pebble Beach tour. I've been going there 31 years and I never got to ride in the tour. And Amy was so nice to reach out to me and say, you should ride with us. And I got to ride in the front seat.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was really cool. So it is an experience like none other, but I agree with you. When you get to see these cars moving versus static on a lawn, it brings a whole nother dimension to them. And it isn't even just the sound, although sometimes that's very interesting. It's just seeing it move as it's supposed to be. So I think this is brilliant. And then,
thank you.
As if it wasn't going to end on Sunday, it continues on Monday.
Right. So I haven't seen too many golf tournaments before tied in with Concours, and it's funny to me because most of them take place on a golf course. So I thought, why not do a celebrity golf tournament on the Monday following? It's to benefit the Arts Center. We've set up a scholarship, LVCE Arts Center. It's for the College of Transportation, and we're hoping to raise money to make a nice donation to the Arts Center. But it's just a fun day. From 8 to noon. It's a shotgun style 18 holes, and we've got Tito's handmade vodka as a sponsor. So you're guaranteed to have a good time, right?
I'll bet.
You can't miss whether you golf or not. You're going to have fun.
Yeah,
it's just
you won't care.
The idea was just to have a nice way to get back to the golf course, to see it without the cars on it, and experience. I mean, one of the greatest golf courses in the world, but just have some fun and just have a nice wind down after these 3 days of endless excitement,
endless entertainment with cars, yes. Las Vegas style. I think it's great. Well, an important part of any Concours events is most, if not all, raise money for some type of charity. And I think it's great that you've tied this into a couple charities. I want you to talk a little bit about TechForce Foundation. Now, I'm going to be having Jennifer Mayer, who's the president of TechForce, on the show. I've had some other people, Lisa, of course, tied to TechForce on the show, and a really important part of the automotive industry to help young people get into this industry. So talk a little bit about your scholarships and charities, also a little bit more perhaps about the Art Center. And then I want you also to touch on something very unique that you've created. You touched on it when you were on the show before, the Helen Award. I want you to talk about that because it's what you've done with this and how it ties back into Helen. And I'm sure you're going to share who she is with our listeners. So let's talk about the charities first.
So the TechForce is our charity for the Friday night gala, and we have the tickets are $200 each for the gala, and Las Vegas Concours d'Elegance is donating $50 per ticket sold to the TechForce Foundation. We think that's important because they help train technicians. You know, we say not everybody's meant to be a doctor or a lawyer. There's a lot of people that just are more hands-on, that don't want to do that. And maybe there's a lot of people these days that don't want to have $200,000 in student loans when they get out of school.
Yes.
Okay, that's a big deal too. And as I've traveled the country and I've seen these private collections, I've seen the restoration people, I've gotten to know a lot of people behind the scenes. Some of those guys doing the restoration on these old cars, they're making some good money. They have some nice jobs. They have some very secure jobs. And I think in the future, as these cars get older, they're going to have very, very secure jobs. So why wouldn't you want to do something like that? So TechForce helps people train, helps men and women train from a young age, from a high school age, and helps them get through the school, and it actually helps them with job placement too, which is very important. So if you think about the cars and trucks and airplanes on the road, those are all maintained by technicians. And we need technicians. And so TechForce is super important. They're doing an unbelievable job in placing those people and promoting that and showing that you can do something else. And you shouldn't have to be ashamed of being an auto mechanic.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I'm involved with the RPM Foundation, which is tied in many ways with TechForce. That's how I met Jennifer Mayer, who I mentioned is going to be a future guest here on Cars Yeah. I was the president of TechForce, Diane Fitzgerald, who runs RPM Foundation through the Loma Museum, who helps find out how can we get these young people into these careers, these jobs, because a lot of times I talk to young people, they don't even know those jobs exist. They go, you mean I can play with cars and have a good living and make a good living? And absolutely you can. Tell us a little bit more about LVCE, the Arts Center Scholarship Fund as well. I know you touched on it earlier, but why did you choose the Arts Center Scholarship Fund?
Well, the Art Center has been kind of on our radar for a long time. Everybody knows about it because almost every car on the road now is designed by somebody from Art Center. So you hear about it all the time, but not only car designers, but like director Michael Bay is an Art Center grad. Thomas Kincaid, the famous painter, the painter of light, is an Art Center grad. There's people in all kinds of different genres that are Art Center grads. It's an interesting place. Well, we started because we had a couple people on our team that were from Art Center. And we were looking for a charity. We were looking at what was going to be our purpose for this. And it came up that, it's a tough school to get through. It's very, very expensive. It's not a rich kid's school. It's a really great school that teaches you great skills, and they're doing a good job. So we thought, let's help some of these kids get through. So we designed this golf tournament in order to get a scholarship going, so we can help fund their expensive college journey.
Yeah, absolutely. I got accepted to that school way back decades ago, and I wanted to go there. And I went up and asked the lady, what are the job opportunities around here? Because I've got to pay for my own college. She goes, well, you can't work while you're going to school here. You're going to be too busy. I'm like, well, how am I going to pay for it? She goes, I don't know, but you can't do that. And I ended up not being able to go there. So I wish there had been things like that back then. Maybe I could have tapped into that. I didn't want to take out loans because I want to graduate from college in debt. So that's a great thing. And tell us a little bit about the Helen Award, because I find this really interesting. I'll tell my listeners, when you go to the website and you see this beautiful sculpture right at the beginning, and I've seen this evolve since you were on the show in February, how it's actually now a trophy for people. Tell us, who is this mysterious Helen?
It's Helene. I'm going to work with you on your French. I'm going to work with you on your French.
My French sucks.
So take Helen and just make the French version out of it. Helene.
There you go. I will do better next time.
Helene Rother, we stumbled upon her and we found that she is a very important person in the automotive industry that they say has almost been completely forgotten. She was the first woman to go to work for General Motors in 1943 as a designer, and she worked for some guy named Harley Earl.
I've heard of him.
You might have heard of him.
Yeah.
But, he was a legendary guy and a real visionary. Harley Earl, we talked in my previous podcast about Harley Earl wanted to have a team of all-female designers, and he wanted women to design the interior and exterior of the car. And so that was kind of how he got his big toe in the water. He hired Helene. She went on to do some great things, but we found out that all of the memory of her was kind of buried. We found out about her, and we thought, let's bring her forward, and let's dedicate our show to an important woman in history that should have gotten maybe more recognition for what she did, and really hasn't. The more we learned about her, the more we learned about her story. She's a fascinating woman. She was witty and cute and fun and sharp as a tack. And she was the first woman to address the SAE meeting with all the male engineers in Detroit. But she had a way of just basic marketing. She would ask people what they wanted, but she would ask the women, what do you want to see in a car? And women are a big part of the buying decision of any automotive, even today. We all know that. So she's just a really great woman. So we're doing a tribute to her with our show. So everything about it, our whole brand is the lean. We took a picture of her face, and we've made our Art Deco logo out of it because we're celebrating design. We love the Art Deco period. So we've made her our logo. And we've made the trophies in her likeness, and we're celebrating her with this show.
I think it's brilliant. And Helene, I will forever say your name more correctly moving forward. I think it's great. I did a whole month back in March, and I'm hoping to do this again next year, dedicated to women, because March is International Women's Day is in March, and trying to get women on the show, and I was very fortunate, much of it thanks to my good friend Lynn St. James, who introduced me to so many great people. So I think it's great that you're bringing this history back from a woman that was involved in the automotive, because I had never heard about her before talking to you either. So I think it's fantastic. And again, listeners, go check out the website. I'll put links to that website on the show notes page here, and you can see this beautiful Art Deco. It's really stunning. I think it's fantastic. So
thank you.
You should make a whole bunch of those. You could sell them at the show, and people would just take them home and put them in their car trophy cases. So
they're not for sale, but this is our little trophy. The people at home can't see that, but
yeah. Well, what he's showing me here on Skype is a beautiful like a glass block with her face, the Art Deco face within it, which is very, very cool. So yeah, that's brilliant.
This is our third place trophy.
Wow. Well, you should be so lucky to win third place.
Yes.
Well, I want you to talk a little bit about what the cars people could expect to see. You're going to have over 200 cars at this event and this beautiful layout and this beautiful, pristine golf course. What are some of the cars that people can expect to experience at this year's inaugural Las Vegas Concours d'Elegance?
So we've got people ask, well, what have you got? What are you bringing? And we've got everything from 1903. We've got a 1903 Cadillac, one of 6 left in the world, all the way up to the modern. We've got Cadillac is bringing one of their 2020 CT5s. So we're going to have those, the first Cadillac to the most latest Cadillac right together on the field. So we've got everything in between. But let me talk about some of the highlights of cars we have. Fred Lax is bringing a 1930 V16 Cadillac that he took to Villa d'Este last year. It's a beautiful, amazing car. From New Jersey, we've got Judge Cassini, who's bringing his 1931 Stutz, which has won Best of Show awards all across the country. We've got the Bojangles Duesenberg from 1935. That is a beautiful, amazing 100-point Duesenberg. 1931 Bugatti Dubos Coupe coming from the Nethercut collection, which is just such a beautiful, fantastic car. Bob Jepson is bringing a 1938 540K Mercedes, a very special Mercedes that has also won Best of Show. We're bringing a lot of cars that have won Best of Shows in many, many shows across the country. And we like to say that the real Clash of the Titans is going to be here. They're all competing against each other. Peter Boyle from Pennsylvania is bringing 3 cars. He's bringing a 38 Steyr. He's bringing a 1928 Azada, and he's bringing a late model Oscar. Just such a variety of cars. We've got Clive and Janet Kussler from Arizona bringing a beautiful Cadillac Biarritz. We've got a collection of great Corvettes that would help put together with my friend Peter Brock. The Kogan family out of Kentucky is bringing a couple of amazing Ferraris, one of which won the show in Switzerland this summer. There's Gull Wings, there's Jaguar D-types, there's E-types, there's just all kinds of stuff. I mean, there's going to be truly something for everybody.
Wow. It
just
sounds
amazing cars.
Incredible. Yeah. And that's just the beginning. Well, you've been traveling a lot. I mean, we've been in communication over time since last February, and it seems like you are always somewhere. What are some of the great places you've gone to look at cars during this past 9 months?
Well, one of the highlights was following a smoky Bentley driving around La Jolla on the tour.
Oh, that must have been me.
A bunch of guys dressed in
white coats. Yeah, that was us. We were the Bentley boys. That
was one of the highlights.
Yeah, you were behind us, when we were up there at Point Loma at that beautiful memorial park there in Point Loma, where both my in-laws are interned there. It's just a solemn place. And I remember turning around in that open car going, Stuart, what are you doing back there? He's like, let us pass. So that was fun.
Yeah. My job right now is to go out and promote the show, let people know what we're doing. I'm talking to collectors. We were gathering cars. So my job, my hobby anyway, is to go to all these shows. And I go to 12 or 15 of these a year. And all of a sudden, I think people now realize that I'm there. But before, I was kind of blending in. I was going as a fan. And now I'm going, but I went to Pebble Beach a month ago. I was a judge up there in Cabo for the exotic class. So that was fun. I do judging, but I also I go to the different shows. I was in Kentucky. I was in Detroit. I was in La Jolla. I go to the shows and I meet people. I talk to the collectors. I see what they do. And a lot of it's too is just hunting around to see what I like, the things about the show I don't like, what I would do, what I wouldn't do. Every show you learn from. You learn from good ones and you learn from bad ones.
Yeah.
And so everything is a learning experience for me.
And the best are the people that you meet at these shows. I mean, you make so many contacts and so many wonderful people. I always say the cars are just the catalyst that bind us and bring us all together in this car hobby.
That's very true. Yeah.
Yeah. It's great people. Well, Stuart, let's take a quick break and say thank you to today's Cars Yeah sponsors before we come back with a little bit more. When you want proven performance, there's one brand that's been around since 1938. That's Edelbrock, building the finest American-made performance products for the street and track. Edelbrock's products are designed and dyno-proven to deliver maximum results. Edelbrock has thousands of made-in-the-USA performance products for all makes and models. From their new AVS2 carburetor and innovative ProFlow 4 EFI for your muscle car or truck, to superchargers for your daily driver and more, visit Edelbrock.com to check out the latest products for your ride. And when you're ready to check out, enter Cars Yeah in the coupon code and get 10% off your order. That's Edelbrock, automotive performance since 1938. You take care of your cars, but who takes care of your investments? Tune-ups aren't just for engines. Updating your financial plan is important too. Your GPS may take you from A to B, but it won't help you on the road to financial freedom. For that, you need a good co-pilot and a very trusted advisor. Chris Kimball, CFP, is just the man for the job. He'll guide you down that road without driving you crazy. For over 25 years, Chris has helped people just like you and me with their financial planning and investments. With a master's degree in financial services, he is eminently qualified, and he's a car guy too. Learn more at chrisvkimball.com or call 866-ON-A-PLAN. Securities through Money Concepts Capital Corp. Member FINRA SIPC. CK Financial Services is not affiliated with Money Concepts Capital Corp. Are you looking for a way to get your products or services into the ears of thousands of automotive enthusiasts around the globe? I can help. This is Mark Green here at Cars Yeah, and I'd be honored to be an influencer and ambassador for your brand in a unique and personal way. 5 days a week, thousands of subscribers and listeners enjoy the Cars Yeah podcast and website. Contact me today and I'll show you how at mark@carsyeah.com or connect with me through the Cars Yeah website at carsyeah.com. All right, we're back, Stuart, and I wanted to touch your brain a little bit on this question. And what do you see happening in the collector car market this year? This has been an interesting year. We started the year back in January with Barrett-Jackson and all the auctions in Arizona, and then the auctions that take place at all these big events like Pebble, Amelia, and so forth. I want to get your interpretation of what you see in the collector car market this year as we are nearing the end of the year, actually. What happened to this year? Man, it went by fast.
Well, it sure did. My impression that things seem to be slowing a little bit. Prices maybe seem to be coming down. Don't quote me on that. I'm certainly not the expert, but that's kind of what I hear out there. One of the things that everybody's fighting is that the general age of the collector is getting older. And I think that one of the important things we need to focus on is what's going to happen to these cars when people get older and who's going to take care of them and how are they going to be handled and how are they going to be cared for. It's sad that we see museums closing. They're selling off their lot. They can't get you can't get people through the gate to go see these beautiful cars. So I think we need to really focus on the hobby and how we're going to keep these around. And the prices are going to go up and down. The rest of our lives are going to do that. So I'm not worried so much about that. I'm worried more about how to keep the collector car hobby alive. And maybe that's why I'm trying to do what I'm doing, to offer something fresh and different, to give some people an alternative of what they can do to get them excited about cars again. And old cars. So we're really reaching out to try to get young people to come out and pay attention to some of these older cars and to learn about Packards and to learn about early Rolls Royces. These cars are beautiful. I mean, it's like stuff before the war. It didn't even happen. We want people to learn about these and to love them. And Sandra Button had touched on the fact that these cars have all these stories. And I love that. I love that the stories behind these cars are amazing. You have to think about a guy who having a 33 or 34 Packard in the middle of the Depression, a guy paying that much money for a car. There's a story there. And I like to know that. And that for me is the fun part of the collector world.
It really is. And I encourage listeners out there a couple things to think about here. One is when you go to a car show, please don't be afraid to walk up to the owner and just ask him about his car, he or she, whoever owns the car, because they'll start to tell you all sorts of interesting things. If you just listen, you won't believe what you learn about these cars. Not only the fact, but the history and who owned the car, who drove the car. I mean, they're just fascinating. And the other thing I'm going to put out there is a little bit of a challenge. Find a friend who maybe isn't into cars that has a kid and offer to take their kid to a car show. Even if it's Cars and Coffee. I tell you, I was just down in Southern California. I got to go to the South OC Cars and Coffee, one of the largest cars and coffee shows in the country. I'm going to have the founder of that show on my car show here on the podcast here. But I was really pleasantly surprised how many young people were at that event. It was a sunny day, Southern California, but there's a lot of kids there, more than I typically see at these events. It's mostly older guys like me with their cars, and that's kind of it. So I take that challenge seriously. Find a friend, even if they're not into cars, who has a kid and offer to take their kid to a show. And I'll tell you what, these owners many times, maybe not on a Concours lawn, but at a tour or something, they'll let the kid jump in the car and sit in it. And you might spark something in somebody that will become a future collector and caretaker of these vehicles. Let me ask you this. There are a lot of things to do in Las Vegas, and the great thing about Las Vegas is there's so many options. What are some of the things that visitors coming to the inaugural Las Vegas Concours could experience at your event that's a little unique, a little different, but also all the other things that venue has to offer?
Well, because there's so much going on and there's so many questions about what to do, we have hired our own concierge to work for our team. So you can call him up and ask him to make a reservation, to get a limousine, to ask questions about where to go or how to do things. There's so much to do. So let me just tell you what we've been asked. So the people have asked me, how do I get to Shelby? They've asked, how do I get to the Grand Canyon? Can I see Hoover Dam? What are the shows playing? How do I get in those restaurants? What else is there to do in the area? And the reason that we're here in Las Vegas is that there's so much infrastructure. There's so many hotels. There's every one of the best chefs in the world is here. And now at any one time, there's so much highline entertainment. Right now, there's 15 different shows playing every night of the week. Gwen Stefani, Lady Antebellum, Aerosmith. I mean, there's every genre, everything you'd want to see all the time. There's just so much to do here. And I was careful, like after the show on Saturday, when the show ends at Saturday, I didn't make any plans on Saturday night. Everybody's asking me, what do we do Saturday night? I'm like, that's your Vegas, baby. It's up to you to go out and play and experience. And I didn't want to control everybody's time. I want them to have time to go play. Yeah. Because there's so much here. So if you don't have a good time here in Las Vegas, it's your fault. It's not mine.
Absolutely. Now, I understand also you're going to have some high-end home tours on this venue, which is very different, very unique, and I think might appeal to maybe a spouse who maybe is there with their spouse to kind of tag along, but they're going to be able to go see some really luxurious homes, right?
We have some amazing, because we're up in an area that's being developed, a couple of our major sponsors are the home builders. And I'm proud to say we have a company called Christopher Homes, who is going to be providing a bunch of homes for us to see and a beautiful lunch for the exhibitors, which is very, very special and unusual. Another one of our sponsors is Sotheby's, and they're going to open up homes that are from $2 to $10 million that you can go tour during the lunch break, which is really fun, because we go to Pebble Beach every year and you see all those unbelievable houses and you're like, I'd sure like to go look at those, but there's no way to see them. So, we have an amazing thing here in Nevada. It's no state income tax. So a lot of people like that, and a lot of people come from all over the country to call Nevada their home. We want to make sure that they know how to do that. But these homes are magnificent, and because of our sponsors, Blue Heron, Christopher Homes, and Sotheby's, they're going to open up. We're probably going to have several houses that you can go tour throughout the day and enjoy, and they'll have little nibbles for you and things like that. It's going to be a fun experience that, again, is very different than the normal Concours d'Elegance that you normally see.
Absolutely. You mentioned Peter and Gail, friends of mine as well, and they have a really unique contemporary home there in Henderson. And when I was last visiting, they took my wife and I over to some of these magnificent, we're into modern houses, so these incredible 5,000, 8,000 square foot modern homes. I think they started in the $5 to $6 million range. It was like, I walked through some of these houses going, this would be like living in a resort. It's just incredible. So adding that feature to this whole event, again, it's just what makes the Las Vegas Concours so unique. Now, this might be a tough question for you, Stuart, but what has you most excited as this event nears?
The exciting part is to see this thing. We've been working on this for several years. It's so exciting to see it now, this week, coming together. Everybody is excited. The buzz has been across the country for the last 6 or 8 months. The buzz has been building. It's going to be just great to see it, to see my dream come true. It's really my dream to see this show and the way we're putting it on. Whoever gets to see their dream become a reality. For me, it's the icing on the cake. It's going to be fabulous.
Yeah, my hat is off to you. I mean, this is an incredible undertaking, the fact that you've taken this on and pulled this off, and it's going to be fantastic. Let me get you to relax just for a moment here. I'm going to take you into the dream world that is Cars Yeah Podcast. And I'm going to ask you what I ask all my guests. I asked you this before. We'll see where we go from here. I'm going to buy you any cool collector car on the planet today, Stuart, to park in your garage, or better yet, to park on the lawn at your inaugural Concours. But there are some rules to this game that might make it a bit of a challenge. You can't sell it to buy a bunch of other toys with. You have to drive it. And it's the only collector car that you can have in your garage. That's what makes this one a little tough. Maybe not for you. You've seen so many great cars, but what can I buy you today?
I'm going to go with the Lamborghini Sesto Elemento. That is an amazing car. I don't know why it's been so much on my mind lately. It's something that intrigues me. The way it was built and the limited production, and just you don't hear much about it. But when it came out, it certainly was. I remember when it was shown on the lawn at Pebble. It was fabulous, and I've been thinking a lot about that lately. That's a really cool car.
Let's see. Filippo Perini, I believe, is the designer of that car. Yeah, yes. It's pretty darn cool. I mean, it's over the top insane. This is very interesting. You answered this question a little different than I thought you might, being an old car guy, because it's a modern car. But this is a car for the ages, I think. This is a car that'll be parked on lawns 100 years from now, we hope. Are we still having Concours then?
I agree.
Yeah. And people will go, wow, look at this old technology. It doesn't even fly or anything. So
It does look a lot like a stealth fighter, so they might think it would fly. Yes.
Yeah, it was the beginnings of that. Yeah, very nice. Nicely done. Well, I'll be happy to park that in your garage there or on the lawn. Well, Stuart, you've taken me on a great ride, as you always do. Really enjoyed your stories. And as I said, a huge tribute to you and this team you put together for putting this whole thing together. Could you offer us one little parting piece of wisdom or guidance before you drive off into the Las Vegas sunset in that beautiful Lamborghini Sesto Elemento?
Okay, I'm going to tell you what a lot of people are asking me, because this is our first time show. And so they've been asking me, well, you've never done a show before. And so people are nervous. What are they going to see? How is this going to be? And I want to share with you one of my most recent favorite quotes, which is, the Titanic was built by professionals. The Ark was built by an amateur. So I'm going to say, just because I'm an amateur at this, don't think I can't do it in a very big way. And I'm going to do that. It's my dream.
I know you will. I know you will. What's the best way for listeners to learn more about this event, get tickets, and attend?
LasVegasConcours.com.
Very simple.
Everything is through the website. All the tickets are available only online through the website. So that's the place to go.
There you go. And I encourage you, even if you can't make it, go to the website, check it out, put it on your calendar for next year. But if you can get there this year, you need to attend. There's going to be so much to do. This is going to be fantastic. Stuart, thanks for coming back. I know you're super busy right now. Thanks for being so generous with your time this morning. I'm excited to have these other guests on this week that are going to be talking about the event. I encourage you listeners to tune in again tomorrow. I want to thank you for what you've done for the trade, for the hobby, for the cars and everything. Until you and I talk again, my friend, I'll see you at the Las Vegas Concours d'Elegance.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, Mark Green here from Cars Yeah. Did you know you can now see me on the Cars Yeah TV show? It's a weekly visit to some of my past Cars Yeah podcast guests, and I take you along for the ride. You go behind the garage door and into their lives, their businesses, and you get to see what makes them successful. With tens of millions of viewers, Cars Yeah TV is making its mark. Cars Yeah TV is available on MAV TV and Lucas Oil Racing TV. You'll find MAV TV on Direct TV, Fubo TV, Fios by Verizon, or you can stream it through Lucas Oil Racing Television online. And they said I only had a face for podcasting.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's ride here at Cars Yeah. Drive on over to carsyeah.com to find show notes and inspiring automotive fun. Download your free copy of Filler Up, a fun book filled with gorgeous photographs of fuel filler fun, including quotes from more inspiring automotive enthusiasts. Download your copy today, and we'll see you next time on Cars Yeah.